So about a month or two ago now, my friends and I decided to do a group Ironman playthrough in Old School RuneScape, and of course appropriately named our group Females. Get it? Because like FE for iron, and then males because we're all males. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain that one. And about a month ago now, I actually made a video on those experiences I had as a new Old School RuneScape player coming from World of Warcraft being my main game. And, I mean, it's safe to say the video did a lot better than I ever expected it would, of course thanks to all of you. I've even had people make reaction videos to my video, which is just absolutely unreal as a small YouTuber. So I've actually had a ton of feedback of people actually wanting a follow-up video, and if I've learned anything from the last video, it's that experienced players actually really enjoy watching newbies be noobs at RuneScape, so here's more of me being a complete noob at RuneScape. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow Iron Men. So last time we left off with me just starting the Wintertodt grind, and I can finally say I am long done the grind now. And I mean, to be honest, I actually got a pretty good haul from Wintertodt. I mean, just take a look at everything I got. And not to mention, I got a Tome of Fire, which I have no idea what it does, but my friends say that it is good. So that's awesome. I only ended up doing it till the 200k mark, because honestly, going all the way to 99 just sounded like way too much of a time sink, and I want to experience more aspects of the game. So in continuation of my journey, we got to the oh-so-beloved Waterfall quest, where I swear to God, I could not figure out the order of the runes for the life of me. Maybe I'm just a bit stupid, but I could not figure out the order of the runes, and I was looking at OSRS wiki, mind you, as well. And then if you do it in the wrong order, you get flooded out of the room and you have to like go and walk all the way back to the waterfall and do the whole rope thing again, like Jesus. So then after this, we gotta do a little bit more stall thieving, which I enjoy those little grinds here and there, so I was looking forward to that. And I actually learned for the first time that you can shift click to drop items in this game. Yeah, before that I had been manually right-clicking and clicking drop on every single item. Also, believe it or not, I actually taught my experienced friend something. He didn't know that you could turn off the profanity filter in the settings, so I showed him how to see swears. I'm a naughty boy. It was shortly after this point where I finally started RFD, which my friends told me is basically like the main quest that everything leads up to in RuneScape, so that's pretty cool. And of course, because of the guide, I already basically had everything I needed for it, except for a lemon, because I accidentally turned it into a chopped lemon, so thankfully one of my friends came in clutch and they gave me a spare lemon. And I mean, this quest is actually pretty cool. Like, there's a whole like cinematic cutscene at the end of it where they all gather for dinner and stuff. And then they all die, I think. At least I think they're dead. I'm not really too sure. I should probably pay a bit more attention to the story in this game, not gonna lie. But finishing it did give me access to a really cool chest in the basement that pretty much lets you buy like basically any ingredient, so that's pretty cool. So anyways, as we continued onward, we had to do a bit more thieving once again. This time I had to pickpocket some guys in pink pajamas, and I really do hate pickpocketing in this game, to be honest. It's so annoying having to like get behind them, and then even then sometimes they still catch you. So then I headed on over to the Wizard's Tower, where I finally realized the use of those beads that I grinded imps for, and I finished the Imp Catcher quest, and also the Rune Mysteries quest at the same time, so I gotta kinda bang out 2 in 1. Then I headed on over to Verro, and I did the Shield of Erov quest, which I was actually supposed to do earlier, but I didn't get around to doing till now, but it actually ended up kind of feeling like a bit of a waste of time because I wasn't even able to finish it because you need to have a partner pick the opposite faction and then trade a fragment with them in order to finish the quest. And it turned out all 3 of my friends picked the same faction. So I didn't even bother finishing this one. They said apparently there's like a chat that you can join where you can group up with someone to do it, but honestly, I just couldn't be bothered. It wasn't even that much XP anyways from the quest, so we'll come back to that eventually. After that, I finally got to finish up the quest Demon Slayer, which, not gonna lie, is probably the coolest quest I've done so far. I mean, I got to kill a freaking demon, and he was easy. Like, I mean, easy. I also finally got to head over and use my first Spirit Tree teleport, which I unlocked from doing a little gnome maze quest a while ago, and I got to walk past all those filthy non-Iron Man players. Just look at them standing at the Grand Exchange. Couldn't be me. And on the topic of Spirit Tree teleports, I gotta say, this is a massive quality of life boost. I mean, before this, I basically just had my Chronicle and my home teleport to Lumbridge. So, I mean, other than getting around by boat, which I, as a new player, still don't really know which boats go where, I finally had a reliable source of ground teleportation, so that's awesome. So at this point, I decided to finish up the Pirate's Treasure quest, which was actually one of the first quests I did in the game before I even got a membership or started following the guide, so I kind of forgot what point of the quest I was actually in, and I was playing on mobile, so I didn't really have the quest helper to rely on either. I kind of ended up just wasting my time because I thought I was at the part where I had to go open the chest upstairs in Verro in that inn, and so I brought all my keys in my bank with me because I had no idea which one it would be. And of course, after standing there and trying every key, none of them worked, and it turned out I had already done that step, so that was fun. Also, I had some people in the last video point out that I've been ignoring the random encounters that pop up, and apparently I shouldn't be doing that because they might think you're a bot account if you do, so I've been making sure to talk to them more often. We also started the Grand Tree quest, which has been quite entertaining to say the least. Basically, the gnomes are convinced that the humans are poisoning the Grand Tree, and they're ready to go to war with them, except it's actually this one gnome who's evil, and I have to try and prove to the king that it's actually this one dude. And it's one of the few quests I've actually been paying attention to the dialogue in, and it's honestly been pretty entertaining, except I accidentally keep killing gnomes because I was playing on mobile and I kept tapping on them to talk to them, except by default it was just attacking them instead of talking to them, so I'm actually pretty surprised I'm not like a fugitive serial killer among the gnomes now, because I've probably murdered at least 3 or 4 gnomes now. They honestly didn't really seem to care all that much, so we're good, thankfully. The quest ends with a surprisingly easy demon fight because he's actually like ridiculously easy to safe spot, so you just kind of stand in this little corner and attack him till he's dead. And on the topic of safe spotting, I actually find it a really interesting mechanic of this game, even though it kind of trivializes a lot of fights that are intended to be hard. Like, it's interesting how just basically every boss in the game seems to have somewhere that you can stand where they just can't hit you, and it seems like the kind of thing where in most games, if that was a thing, it would obviously be a design flaw and it would be patched, but it seems like it's actually intended in OSRS, which I find really interesting. So eventually you do finally convince the king that it wasn't the humans all along, and you take out the rocks that are poisoning the tree, and everyone lives safe and soundly. Except for the gnomes that I murdered along the way, but that's okay, they died for a good cause. And, well, now I'm basically at Merlins Crystal, which is the current point I'm at, and, oh boy. So first off, I had to buy like 15 pineapples and then put them into a compost bin, which I don't really know why I did that. There was pretty much no explanation, and then I had to buy some farming tools, so I assume that's for the farming skill later on. And then I had to go to this fortress that this dude named Mordred was in, and again, I was being a little dumb and couldn't really figure out how to get into the fortress, and if I had actually just read a bit more, I would have realized I have to hide in the crate. So I hopped in the crate and I went to this little fortress that this dude Mordred is in, and I kind of realized I didn't really bring a whole lot of food with me, so I make my way up the stairs and took quite a bit of damage from the guards and finally just killed Mordred with a sliver of life left. Well, not exactly kill him, but at least get to the part where his life was pleaded for, but with my sliver of life left, I thought it'd be a good idea to try and make my way out of the fortress, and I took basically one hit from a guard and, I died. And I was quite far away from Lumbridge, and of course, I don't really know the transportation in RuneScape too well yet, so I basically just ran all the way from Lumbridge to Catherby. Yeah. That was a brutal run, and I didn't realize I had to go through the mountain as well, where I almost died again. So thank God I didn't, because I would have lost all of my money. So if there's a much more efficient way to get from Lumbridge to the Catherby side of the map, please let me know. But thankfully I did recover my stuff in time, and I'm now safe and sound back in Catherby. And that's pretty much what I'm up to right now. I just need to finish up the Merlin's quest, and then I'm actually close to getting my Ardougne cape, which is actually super exciting because I get free teleports to Ardougne, which is pretty sweet. And then not long after that, my friends say that I'm getting close to the blackjacking part of the guide, which I can only assume is something similar to blackjack in RuneScape, so I guess we'll see what that's like. But then again, they did also say there's a newer, less click-intensive method of getting your thieving up instead, so we might just end up doing that. But I will be sure to make more of these and keep you guys up to date with my journey because, like I said, apparently veteran RuneScape players enjoy seeing new players be complete noobs at the game, so here we are. I do apologize this one took a bit of time to get out. I actually did just get married and had my honeymoon, so I didn't have a lot of time to edit videos or make content, so I will hopefully get the next one out a lot sooner to you guys. But of course, in order to do that, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll be back for more soon.